Shares in MTY food court, the food court or food group, the food court king, Manchu Wok, Mucho Burrito among its brands, trading higher, even though revenue and profit fell in the latest quarter, but it did top expectations. For this and some other market movers, we're joined by Bloomberg's Stephanie Hughes. Stephanie.
Hey, Andy. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So those shares were up as much as 11.5% today. That was the biggest intraday gain since April 2022, so just over 2 years there. And it put it firmly at the top of the TSX best performers list. So like you mentioned, it was an analyst beat. So the second quarter earnings per share for the food franchisor came in at $1.13 per share, just beating analyst expectations, which was closer to just over $1 there. The company said that emerging from a challenging winter, they saw that system sales in the U.S. segment and as well as the profit and margins coming out of the franchising segment advanced in the second quarter. Now, this is a stock that's been under quite a bit of pressure this year, especially in February when its fiscal 2023 earnings fell short of estimates because of higher interest expenses and higher capital expenditures. But we are seeing that improvement in the U.S. side. That led to a TD analyst saying that he expects to see a positive reaction to shares. And he said this before the bell today, and looks like he was right. Investors were impressed with the results today. Another high flyer on the TSX that I'm looking at was Novagold Resources. Those shares up as much as 10.3%, putting it among the top TSX performers and putting it ahead of the precious metals pack there. And this is because all the gold and silver miners were rallying as gold prices topped $2,400 an ounce. And it's your garden variety U.S. economic data story. Once again, it came down to weaker inflation numbers. Inflation cooled by more than expected, especially when you look at the figures stripping out volatile segments like food and energy. That advanced by its smallest pace in about 3 years. So gold and silver prices tend to do well as rate cuts are anticipated, and this data gave traders more bets that we could see that rate cut come sooner rather than later. So this is a good news story for gold miners such as Novagold, and other names that are rallying today include Pan American Silver, Caliber Mining, and Oceana Gold, as well as many other miners on the TSX today. Andy?
Looking at gold prices there, as you say, north of 2,400 today. Not far, the latest price I have for gold on my screen right now is 2,422. And the record level was in late May at around 2,438. So we're nearly back to record highs for gold prices once again. And just on MTY, I mentioned this earlier on trading day, but a colleague, a producer the other day had a sub from Subway, a big one, a foot long, but he said, you know, this cost me $17. I mean, the cost of fast food has gone up in a pretty spectacular way.
Which is insane because usually we rely on that for like a lower lunch cost. So you don't want to go to a restaurant and pay these insanely high prices. But yeah, to your point, looks like the fast food options are costing us quite a bit there too, Andy.
Yeah, it's amazing. And the PepsiCo talking today about consumers fighting back. They're just seeking out cheaper snack options. Salty snack options are going with the store brand. And of course, PepsiCo is the classic consumer brand company. They advertise heavily, try to get people to pay a premium. So it does look like there's some kind of a consumer revolution going on. They're just sick of these high prices. Stephanie, we better jump. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Stephanie Hughes of Bloomberg.